life. Right? I had expectations, and everyone I had expectations let me down. And I didn't want this relationship ruined.
Did you tell her that? Did you tell her that? But did you really mean that?
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't mean it. I wanted to see if she take the exit.
Right.
Like if he giving me a
I will take it.
Sometimes you give someone an out and see if they take it.
Yeah.
And if they take it, that's what they really.
The drama that unfolded in the courtroom today could have been the script of a movie, and you won't believe it. What is on this video? Who is at fault? And what does this mean for Kirk and Mendeecees? Despite Kirk Frost's insistence that he was innocent, the CCTV film just showed the truth, and trust me when I say that it's terrible that we're talking about the evidence that flips a case on its head. This case has just taken a surprising turn, so stay tuned.
Now, Jasmine mentioned you, by the way.
Me?
Oh yeah, you. Oh. She mentioned you sitting at my bar. So, it's like,
I think Kirk was going down like the Titanic slowly. He hit that iceberg. He looked to the left and he was like, boy, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I didn't know who she was. So somebody had to say, that's Kirk's baby mother. I never went back. We never had 2 words.
I asked you one question. Where the hell is your ring?
How old you Kirk?
I lost it.
For those who don't know, let's travel back in time. Kirk Frost and Mrs. heated argument after attending war quickly escalated into something far more severe, with both men blaming one another and initially providing entirely different explanations. It is in the courtroom now. He just said that Kirk was out here claiming to have been attacked, portraying himself as the victim, while Mies claimed that Kirk was the one who initiated everything and was merely attempting to conceal it. Nobody knew who to trust currently because it was just words against words. When proof became accessible, everything changed. Today, the court saw hard evidence, no more back and forth, no more rumors, just unquestionable, cold truths. Let's discuss the footage now, and I can tell you that Kirk doesn't seem to be doing well. There are celebs at this high-profile event. With cameras flashing all over the place, the room is bustling with activity. Everything changes in a second when a scuffle breaks out, ruining what was supposed to be a normal night. The CCTV footage becomes insane at this point. In the end, what happened that night was revealed, and you can probably guess what Kirk's version of events is. Broken because the video that was revealed in court clarified it that Kirk, not Mendeecees or a random person in the crowd, was the one who struck first. Kirk is the same Kirk who has been playing the victim and saying he was attacked first the entire time. Despite the court's repeated insistence that he had nothing to do with it, the footage was displayed in front of everyone and showed Kirk getting in Mendeecees' face, tempers flying, and the dispute boiling up before Kirk took the first strike before anybody could respond. That totally flipped this case on its head, and let's talk about how quickly the courtroom reacted. As soon as the video began to play, you could sense the tension. Mendeecees just sat with his arms folded and watched as the video showed him the reality without even saying a word. Kirk, meanwhile, was obviously taken aback by this. The internet had a field day with this, as you already know. The moment the video was made public, it went viral on all platforms. It was all wonderfully summed up in one tweet. It's over because Kirk lied, and the camera caught him. They were right to go in on Kirk, to be honest, pointing the finger at him for trying to alter the narrative. Some were saying, "See, this is why you can't believe everything people say. Video doesn't lie," while others were simply making jokes and insulting him, as is common on the internet. However, since M's remark was a complete moment in and of itself, let's discuss it. He apparently merely sat back and smiled when the video began to play, showing no real reaction. Imagine being caught in 4K in front of everyone after weeks of deceit and being portrayed as the villain. In that case, the video did all the talking, and you don't even need to comment about it. Speaking on his behalf, and all of a sudden, the case took an important turn.
All this rumors and stuff that what people saying is not true. This is what I've been saying the whole time. I don't know that girl. I just ordered a drink.
If you thought the CCTV footage was awful, wait a minute. I can promise you that these texts entirely changed everything, and the prosecution just sent forth another bombshell text message. When the prosecution departed, the court had not yet completed processing the footage. Actual messages that Kirk sent before the altercation were read aloud, and the tension in the courtroom increased dramatically. "He won't see it coming, excuse me," was the exact phrase in one text. In addition to showing that Kirk was aware that something was going to happen, it also implies that this altercation was planned rather than occurring on its own. Other texts from Kirk also revealed him talking about problems in the days leading up to the event. One even said, "I don't care what happens, he needs to know I." Since we're not playing, let's think about this. Kirk had been vehemently disputing that he was the victim of the attack. But these exchanges present a whole different picture, and legally, this has escalated the matter since it's no longer only about the fact that Kirk may face severe legal consequences if this type of proof is presented.
It's provoking. That's what they want to do, man. It's right.
See, bitches get threatened when they can't handle the truth, they want to start swinging.
Wait, hold on. Let them clear that out. I promise you. So listen, I promise you, when one of these girls grab you, I'm gonna go crazy.
It was a crazy time, so let's talk about what happened when those texts were revealed in court. As the messages flashed on the screen, the courtroom fell silent. You know, when something is so stunning that people are speechless, that's the atmosphere. In fact, the jurors seemed shocked. Noticing Kurt Wu, who seemed to have just had a ghostly encounter, his entire demeanor changed. He was sitting there, barely moving and without moving, rather than looking around with the same confidence as before or shaking his head as he did before the CCTV film played. He clearly understood how horrible this was, and let's talk about the judge for a moment, because have you ever seen a judge give you that look in a courtroom? Let me tell you, this judge wasn't amused, and it's not good. They even interrupted the proceedings at one point to address the text directly, claiming that they presented a concerning image of Mr. Ross's plans for the evening, which could have stopped Kirk's ability to exercise authority. Just when you thought things couldn't get much worse, Kirk's own wife is now being pulled into the mess. This story was ruined. Yes, it looks bad for Kirk when his wife's leaked messages were recently discovered. One of the texts said, "I asked him not to do it, but he never listens, so wait," even if she knew something was about it. Since Kirk is now juggling not just legal matters, but also personal repercussions, the situation has reached an entirely new level of disarray. Everyone knows that Kirk is losing, not only in court, but also to everyone around him, and his wife is aware that the court is aware of social media. She tried to caution him, but he chose to go ahead and do this.
I'm this cheater. And y'all think Rashida's so dumb. And Kirk is so dumb. And he's just a cheater. Where the fuck are the bitches that I'm cheating with?
The courtroom was bombarded with audio recordings just as Kirk believed things couldn't get any worse. Indeed, there were actual audio recordings, but let's just say that there was a hush in the room when the prosecution revealed the secret wires. By this point, everyone knew Kirk was in trouble. The moment Kirk's voice sounded through the speakers, "I already know what I'm going to do, no loose ends," it was like watching a movie. Kirk just sat there while the prosecution played the recording, the audience gasped, and the jury members looked at each other. The next level is that. Play in its whole, and it became worse as it went along. Managing the situation, ensuring that no one commented, and even hinting at trying to manage it were all discussed. The court then, in the most surprising of all, asked Kirk if he had anything to say on his behalf, and guess what? Kirk couldn't. One of Kirk's own friends, yes, a member of Kirk's inner circle, was called in as a new witness when it seemed that Kirk was done for the prosecution. However, he remained silent because, frankly, what can you say when you've been caught like this? They claimed, "I tried to ask him to stop, but he wouldn't listen because he thought he was untouchable." The friends' conversation was harsh. When they opened their mouths, Kirk was well aware of what was about to happen. "Oh, Kirk, even your friends are turning against you now," and it didn't stop there, the witness said. Described in depth how the judge inhaled deeply as they gazed at Kirk, who by the end of this testimony not only appeared guilty, but also totally alone. Kirk had been bragging about his plans, how he thought he could get away with it, and, worst of all, how he ignored everyone's strongest advice. And Mr. Kirk stated the real concern is what will happen to Kirk when a judge rules that the matter is ended, and it looks like you have been dishonest with this court. As the prosecution is trying to obtain the highest punishment possible and is clarifying it that they don't simply want Kirk to face the consequences, let's just state that things don't appear promising from a legal perspective first. Since nobody is objecting, they want to use him as an example. Furthermore, even if he avoids going to jail, his career is ruined since once the trust is broken, it cannot be restored. Although Kirk Frost has been officially fired, there were speculations that additional evidence will surface soon, just when we thought he was done. What are your thoughts? Was everything ruined by Kirk? Kindly leave your thoughts in the space provided below. Kirk might be in far greater legal peril if this is the case.